What's going on, everybody? I am back with another video, and today I will be doing my first video on what will probably be a new series. My friend wanted me to do this one, really badly. I'm finally doing it. Haven't had time to do it the last couple days, so I'm doing it now. This is my QB review of Daniel Jones. I'll be going over his stats from last year, my prediction for what he'll do this year, looking what I think the Giants' record will be, and see if he's going to make a break this year, man. I'm going to go over his ceiling, his floor, what I think he's going to do. It's going to be a fun video. By the way, guys, I do got some allergies right now, so just bear with me if I do that all the time. But, yeah, let's get right into my QB review of Daniel Jones. Now, Daniel Jones was the 6th overall pick in what I think, it was the 2019 NFL draft. Bless you, Dylan. He's only 25 years old, 6'5", 230 pounds. He went to Duke. Last season, he did get injured with a neck injury. Bless you, Dylan. The thing I see in Daniel Jones, he has very bad fumble problems. I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, he's fumbled the ball more times in his career than he's thrown interceptions. I think he has 26 interceptions in his career, but 37 fumbles, which for a quarterback, not normal. But the big thing with him is that the Giants they just haven't won with him. Pretty sure they went 3-14, 4-13 last year, which like I said, he did only play in 10, 11 games last year. But we see here his yards wasn't that great, and overall for his career, he has a lot of problems. Yeah, see, 29 interceptions. He has a lot of problems with consistency because, admittedly, some nights you can see him and he'll actually play pretty good. 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, no fumbles, and he's a good running quarterback. He's not a bad running quarterback. It's just when it comes down to it, he just doesn't keep the ball in his hands. He can get knocked out. The ball can get knocked out by a little wind. It's he struggles a lot with keeping the ball. If he can get those fumble issues under order, he may honestly be a pretty solid quarterback. But he's been in the league for, 4 or 5 years now, give or take. He has just not played up the ball. I mean, we see here, even with the limited time, like I said, he still played in a few games. These are not the greatest stats. His QBR is low and everything. Now, I mean, this was the last game he played in a win, but when he got injured. And rushing the ball, he's actually a pretty decent runner with the ball. He is not bad at all running, but he has some struggles with turnovers. By the way, you guys want this is my cap, but anyway, Daniel Jones, he just needs to get the turnovers under order, and he needs to win some games. That's ultimately what it comes down to. I'll be back. I gotta get the cat off my bed. Sorry guys, I'm back. Had to get my cat on my bed. But, overall, like I said, he just needs to get the turnover problems in order and just simply needs to win more games. And that's really what it comes down to. Now, as in for his weapons, Tyrod Taylor just got injured, so his starting job's probably fine. As in for his weapons, well, he has Saquon Barkley, who just doesn't stay healthy, man. He's pretty injury prone, which sucks to say because for his rookie year, which was the only year he was really fully healthy, he popped off. But since that rookie year, dude, he's either been injured or just not that great. So he's definitely gonna need some help from them. Kenny Golladay, man, there's not much to say about Kenny Golladay. I mean, and I'm pretty sure Q means questionable. I mean, Kenny Golladay just hasn't fit well into their system. He had 474 yards, no touchdowns off I think 40, 50 receptions last year. He was just not great. And they paid him a bag, so they need him to kind of pop off. And you also notice there's been quite a bit of injuries. I'm pretty sure Q means questionable here. His offensive line, though, overall, this is probably the best offensive line Daniel Jones has had since he was drafted by the New York Giants. But he really needs to, he needs Sterling Shepard in there, man. Kadarius Toney, Mondale Robinson. and Darius Slayton. He needs some of those guys to contribute more. Kenny Golladay just hasn't been great since his time. Sterling Shepard hasn't been bad. Kadarius Toney's very unproven. And then we got Wan'Dale Robinson, Darius Slayton, who, in my opinion, is also unproven. Which sucks to say, because I'm a big Wan'Dale Robinson fan. I was happy to see him go to the Giants, because obviously he played for my Kentucky Wildcats. But overall, he just needs those guys to perform. His tight end core is not great, as you can see here. So he really needs to depend on his running backs and his wide receivers to kind of help him out here. His offensive line ain't terrible. Like I said, it's probably the best offensive line he's had since he became a New York Giant, but that doesn't mean they're exactly great. Like, they're about average, maybe even a little below average. But they're just practically telling Daniel Jones, work with what you got here. Because this is Daniel Jones' last chance to really show up, do stuff, get some wins. And plus his defense, if healthy, which I get healthy, has not been, the name where they describe the Giants as they've suffered a lot of injuries in the preseason. But, you got Kayvon Thibodeaux when he comes back, Leonard Williams, Azeez Ojulari. I'm definitely mispronounced that, but whatever. Xavier McKinney, Adoree Jackson. It's like that their defense will not be bad. So, but he can't just fully depend on his defense, which is something I've kind of noticed because a lot of games that the Giants have won with Daniel Jones under center, they've definitely kind of relied on their defense a little bit, and he just needs to step it up. And like I said, Tyrod Taylor, halfway through the season, if he played back, Tyrod Taylor could come and take that starting spot. But Tyrod Taylor just got injured, so now it's Davis Webb. But still, he needs to play up to par with, what he can do. Because he has a lot of potential, but he needs to capitalize on it. And then we got the schedule. I'll go through my best case, my worst case, and what I think the record will be scenario here. Titans. I think that the Giants, they have a chance to beat the Titans. A very winnable game. By the way, here's my cat. But, yeah, this is a very winnable game against the Titans. I mean, I could see the Giants winning that one. I'm going to go over what I think will happen first. I got the Giants. I could see them winning that one, but I'm going to say they lose to the Titans. They beat the Panthers. They lose to the Cowboys. They beat the Bears. They lose to the Packers. They lose to the Ravens. They beat the Jaguars. They win against the Seahawks. They win against the Texans. They lose to the Lions. So that puts them at 5-5 up to this point, right? If I could scroll down a bit. Give me a sec. Alright, I am back. I had to go to the Giants website because that one was messing up a bit. But yeah, now we're back. And week 12 against the Cowboys, by the way, they're 5-5 at this point. I think they'll lose that one, so they're 5-6. I got them beating the Commanders 6-6. Got them losing to the Eagles 6-7. Got them beating the Commanders 7-7. Losing to the Vikings 7-8. Losing to the Colts 7-9. And Eagles 7-10. So I think the Giants will finish 7-10 this year. I do think they'll be a little better than a lot of people think, but I don't think they'll be much better. That's what I think. Best case scenario, and for Daniel Jones, his personal stats, I'd say 25 touchdowns, or 27 touchdowns, 15 turnovers is reasonable, and the Lions will have a big decision whether to move on from them. But that being said, best case scenario, they beat the Titans, they beat the Panthers, they beat the Cowboys, they beat the Bears, they lose to the Packers, they lose to the Ravens, they beat the Jaguars, so they're 5-2 at this point. They beat the Seahawks, they're 6-2 heading into the bye. Then they beat the Texans, go 7-2. Beat the Lions, go 8-2. Lose to the Cowboys, 8-3. Beat the Commanders, 9-3. Beat the Eagles, 10-3. Beat the Commanders, 11-3. Lose to the Vikings, 11-4. lose to the Colts 11-5, and lose to the Eagles. So I think the Giants will go 7-10. But best case scenario, Daniel Jones has a great year. Throws for 35 touchdowns, has 30 touchdowns, limits the turnovers, only has 10 to 12. And the Giants make it to the playoffs and go 11-6. Because either way, I think they'll lose these final kind of 3 games here possibly, but we never know. But I do got them going 11-6 as the best case scenario. Now, worst case scenario, they lose to the Titans, they lose to the Panthers, they lose to the Cowboys. They beat the Bears, so 1-3. They lose to the Packers, 1-4. Lose to the Ravens, 1-5. They lose to the Jaguars, 1-6. And then at that point, and they beat the Seahawks 2-6. And at that point, Daniel Jones gets benched for the remainder of the year. They beat the Texans. They go 3-6. They lose to the Lions 3-7. They lose to the Cowboys 3-8. They lose to the Commanders 3-9. Lose to the Eagles 3-10. Beat the Commanders 4-10, and then lose the remainder of the games and go 4-13. Daniel Jones plays bad, continues his turnover struggles, doesn't have a great year, gets benched halfway through the season, and will not be a New York Giant next year. So what I think will happen for the Giants, because this did come down into me predicting the record as well, I think they'll go 7-10. We'll miss the playoffs. Daniel Jones will have another meh year, ups and downs, and we'll have no idea what the Giants will decide to do. Because they'll go 7-10, miss the playoffs. Best case scenario, Daniel Jones has a breakout year. The Giants as a whole will kind of pop off. They stay healthy. They go 11-6. Worst case scenario, injuries kind of flood the team. And for Daniel Jones personally, like I said, he just plays bad, gets benched halfway through the year, and the Giants finish 4-13, move on from Daniel Jones. Overall, I think Daniel Jones, if you want my personal take on it, this could be the year. This is going to be the best chance Daniel Jones has of having a breakout year. This is probably the best unit he's had. But with that being said, I still think he'll have a solid year. I think it'll kind of be similar to what he's had the rest of the years, besides for last year, because I do think he'll be a little bit better than last year. But overall, this is probably the best chance Daniel Jones has of having a breakout year if everybody stays healthy, or at least the majority of them stay healthy. And yeah, that's kind of my take on it. Personally, but yeah, this was my QB review and kind of schedule prediction for the New York Giants in a way. But anyway, yeah, this was my QB review of Daniel Jones. I hope you all enjoyed. My friend who requested this, you know who you are. That one was for you. But yeah, Daniel Jones has a lot of potential. He can definitely live up to it. I make a lot of jokes about him, but on a serious note, this is if most of them stay healthy, the Giants could maybe be a sleeper team for the playoffs, because they do have a lot of talent on this team. But health and quarterback plays what tell them back. If that quarterback play gets fixed, they stay healthy, this could be a sleeper team to maybe win the NFC East. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Once again, I'm sorry I have allergies. I thank y'all for bearing with me. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're new, turn on post notifications. I may post another video later today, kind of doing the AFC, NFC predictions. Here, you guys can get to see my cat. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next video, guys. I love you all. Please stay safe. Peace out, and yeah, say bye. Bye, guys.